So I am coming on to share with you some love and some medicine of the present moment. And right now it is a lunar eclipse, and I am praying that we all connect deeper to our innocence, to the inner sense in our heart, the deeper inner sense in our heart, and that we return to the love that we are. Innocence is not some judgmental thing saying that you are right and that you are without sin. I pray that all religious timelines be dissolved and that we are reborn into the truth of our heart. And within that, something that I'm personally passionate about and that I support others with when they are open to receiving is returning to primal embodied innocence. And what does that mean? What does that even mean? Well, primal is, I'm an animal. This body was carried in a womb, carried through time. And embodied means that I am consciously aware that I am this primal animal creature, that I'm a creature of the earth, and that these ideas of what a human is and what a human should be are false, and that they're actually not relevant to my existence. However, they have been passed down through generations and through storylines. And so we right now have an opportunity to tell a new story, which means that if something isn't working even just a little bit, we get to call it up, call it out, not like calling something out with aggression, but calling it up, bringing it into the light. If something isn't working, we get to speak to it. We get to give voice to it. We get to speak into existence something new, something more true to the innocence inside. Now, I know all beings know deep down what resonates with the heart and what doesn't. And if you are a leader here on the leadership path in the new earth, then you get to create this blueprint. We get to create this blueprint of what's possible by subtly noticing what is in integrity and what is not. There's no shame about having been out of integrity, but if we notice that there's something off in our heart, it doesn't feel like it's in congruence, then we have the opportunity to share through our word something that brings love and light to that. We speak it into its highest form. We speak it into ascension. So prayer is a form of energy healing work. When we are sincere about our prayers and they come from the deepest part of our heart and we speak those out into existence, we create new lines of energy, new stories. You hear people on the news, I hear people walking down the street talking about all kinds of things. The quality of conversation's different based on where I go, based on the cities that I'm in. By the way, I travel. I've been traveling a lot. I've been without a home for a while. I mean, my home is my body, my temple, the earth, yet I have been without a stable, consistent home for quite some time as I've been traveling and singing and praying and meditating with the land in various places and going to different communities and seeing what works and also seeing what doesn't work and what we need to really learn as we're moving into these new earth templates and these new earth timelines. Thank you for whoever's watching. I love you. Is that if we have all these great ideas and we have these beautiful visions, because the visions of the future, they're already there. The grids are already set, but we can't get along, then we can't create the thing. Because at this point, the center of the whole new earth paradigm is interpersonal healing. When two individuals or more get together and heal, not through teaching each other something that like being hierarchical, no. When two individuals face each other in pure witness mode and reflect and mirror the divinity and all of it to the other, healing happens. Interpersonal healing happens through that transparency, through that willingness to be seen, and that ripple gets sent out and provides energy for all of us in this new earth. So we need to start, my opinion, and there's an infinite amount of opinions and I have one, is that we need to focus on our interpersonal healing. the places where we feel resentment and tensions and unresolved stuff, anger, those places, we need to bring more awareness to those. Because when we're actually able to get into the unconditional love frequency with one another, then the co-creation naturally happens, because we each hold a key to the new earth. And when we're all in harmony and cohesive synchronization together, then those keys naturally work with one another and we naturally fall into an organized fashion. So it's the interpersonal tensions and woundings that are keeping us from creating it. Now, it is happening. So there's no prevention of this. It is inevitable, yet it's my voice right now is presenting that this is of the utmost importance. And right now we are in, thank you for whoever's watching, yes, thunder and earth, because of your beauty. Your beauty makes the world a better place. The thing is every single one of you who's watching right now, the world is full of more love because you exist. Now, it's up to you to harness and to cultivate and to water and to nurture the seed that you are so that it grows. Now, most of us have been planted in soil that doesn't work for our seedling needs. So sometimes your seed needs certain nutrients, certain amount of sun, a certain amount of love, a certain amount of care, a certain amount of frequency. And you might not have been born into a soil that contained that nutrient. So for those of us who are in this new wave of individuals, we're having to learn how to tend to our soil in a way that it's never been tended to before. We're having to call upon wisdom beyond our own in order to learn these things that weren't passed down. Lots of the mystery traditions and the rites of passage and initiations for men and for women weren't taught in our American culture. There are things in the religion, but religion comes with a whole load of crap. And so those aren't necessarily reliable initiatory paths. So all of us are really lacking these, not all of us, but a lot of us are really lacking these initiation paths that activate within us these rites of passage, these DNA activations, so that we can remember these parts of ourselves. And so I'm passionate about holding space for others to activate these pieces, these key codes that have been forgotten over time, so that you, me, we can live in what we can read about as Lemuria, we can read about as Mu, Atlantis. We can live in a sort of, there's a lot of story around that, but as far as if you're watching this, you understand the concept, and it's a reality for me, of the architecture of such a culture where everyone is in touch with their magic, their energetic body, the fact that we have capacities beyond what we've been told to create, that our word creates reality, and that what we speak with our mouth actually weaves patterns into existence. Homo sharatin tarakunumunaye. I have committed to coming out and sharing more of myself because I hold key codes, and they help activate codes in the planet. And while the planet receives fully my activations, I also have a gift of working with human beings. And I am super open to the time when that's appropriate. Only certain individuals are able to receive from my archetype because of its intensity and its straightforwardness. So those who I work with really are open to receiving, they're open to activation, they're open to something new, they're open to surrendering what they've previously known in order to lean into something that is being evolved through them. So we are in an evolution. I am here stewarding evolution, and what I speak might be triggering for a lot of people. I have been kicked out of communities multiple times. I have been persecuted by people. I have been blamed, all the things, abused, and I'll tell my story, I'm sure, in deeper detail later on. But I've had all the things, and I still choose love. And there's a reason for that, and it's not ephemeral. It's actually because of the reality that what we think and feel and have going on inside creates the world outside of us. And it's not as simple and straightforward as I'm going to think a positive thought and then it manifests, because we have a lot of parts working. We've got a lot of parts in us working. It's not all for face value. I think a thought and it happens. Now, some people can experience that. And if you look at your life and you actually slow down your mind, you can see exactly the storyline your mind's telling you, or your mind is telling by what you see around you, how you feel. And outside of our contrived story, there is a bigger story that we are but a piece in. And within that story, we aren't the number one control factor. There's many, many, many other beings, other individuals. I'm an individual. Whoever's watching this, you are an individual. And so while I might want to create heaven on earth now, there are a bunch of individuals choosing a bunch of different things all the time. And so the more we can come into resonance with our heart, and the more we can come and drop the ego agenda of trying to fit into the old paradigm and recognize that we are here as prophetic beings bringing something new, and say bye-bye to the old paradigm as much as possible, and act from this new place, even though we don't know what it's going to look like. It's very, very uncertain, and it's not guaranteed. None of that, even though none of that is guaranteed, we still need to choose to act from the new paradigm, because the more we do that, the more we're creating it, and we are creating it. There's no one outside of us going to create it. So it takes all of us doing it together. And I experience personally like waves of grief because of the fact that there are still others choosing to live in fear and to live in illusion. And yet I offer forgiveness. Bless, bless, bless those ones. Bless, bless, bless. It is all well. And the more I can drop into forgiveness, and we can drop into forgiveness, the frequency of forgiveness, the quicker these things will come to light. The quicker we will see a bridging in our physical world. So we all exist, and we're spread out across the globe right now. And there's a lot of us who are awakened and who are awakening. And the more we can come into the frequency of the new earth and be in that space of forgiveness and be in that space of unconditional love, the more we will see heaven on earth in our life. And the more we will meet with our soul tribe, the more we can choose to be in heaven on earth, even if we see no evidence of it outside. I personally grew up in the darkness, and I didn't see any evidence of anyone choosing to be awake for a very long time. And I was born awake. And I am still choosing to be here on planet Earth, because we are the ones that are going to do it. And bless, bless, bless to whoever's watching. If you want support on your journey, I'm not even going to talk about what it is I do, because it's beyond like English language. And I offer support for those who are in an awakening path, who feel like they have some kind of a leadership role in this new paradigm and want to step into that and feel it in their hearts and their minds and their bodies more right now. I help with that. So I love you, and we're all in this together. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know the rest of the words, but we're all in this together. And happy lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is happening right now. So I'm da 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 da. I sing a song for you, I sing a song for we, I sing a song for all, 'cause we are born free. And though we have forgotten our mother, father's name, we will remember surely, all in time, my friend. All is well, all is wild. Your heart is never contained, my child. Don't let yourself forget that. Even though you might be sad, 'cause feelings belong here too. I am in you, yes I am. Feel this love now, feel it so through and through. I am me, you are me, we are one, and I am you. Bless, 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 bless.